So session 3, slide, text and images. In this chapter we are going to study how we can insert text, how can we do formatting with the text in Impress, and how can we insert images in slides in Impress. So we are going to study text and images. So first of all we will open Impress. So I will click here. I will click on presentation now, and from here we know if we want to go for empty presentation we will click on empty presentation. Then next, from here we will select original and we are going to project it on a screen. Then next, here no effect at all, and then click on create. So now we have opened openoffice.org Impress to create our presentation. First of all, the topic is entering text in text boxes. So what are text boxes? These placeholders for entering text are called text boxes. So if you want to insert text in text boxes, just you have to click on the text box and then you can start writing. Just start typing. Now our next topic is moving and resizing text boxes. If you want to move the text box from one place to another, so you can do this. How can we do this? So this is our text box. So I will just place my mouse cursor at the boundary and it will become a four-sided arrow. From here I can just drag and release the text box and its place will get replaced. Okay. So this way we can move the text box. Now if we want to resize the text box, means change the size of the text box. So we have these options at the corners. Using these options we can resize the text box. This way also and this way also. We can change the size of the text box and again we can place it wherever we want. Next thing is formatting the text in text boxes. Suppose I have written this text in this text box Nazrat Academy and I want to format this text. So we will be going for the formatting toolbar. This whole part you know very well is called formatting toolbar. So I will select the text and from here we can change the font style. Suppose I want to go for this one. From here I can change the font size. Suppose I want to go for this one. And here we can make the text bold, italic or underline. So using the formatting toolbar we can format the text in the text box. Next topic is 3.3, bulleted and numbered list in presentation. We can create two types of list. One list is called bulleted list and one is called numbered list. You know very well that bulleted list contain characters or symbols, whereas numbered list contain number. Now we can see, so here we have this one is the title slide. Now we can change the slide. This one we can take, or we can take this one also, we can take this one also. Whatever type of slide layout we want we can change from here, properties section, layout tab. Now in text boxes which are created by Impress, you can see these are Impress created text boxes. We can also create text boxes. So these are auto layout, means automatically provided by Impress. So in these auto layout text boxes you can see these are called auto layout because they are automatically provided by Impress. The outline style available are bulleted list. You can see here the list provided is bulleted list. If I will start typing here, suppose I will write class 7, then class 8. So the list will be bulleted list having symbols. So by default the lists are bulleted list. In auto layouts means the layouts which are provided by Impress. So if we want to create bulleted list in slide, we do not need to do anything, just we will start typing and then press enter. It will automatically start providing you the bulleted list. So the question was how to create bulleted list in slides. So if it is an auto layout, just we will click and start typing. It will automatically provide us this option. So this way we can create bulleted list. Now the next topic is how to change bullet style. If we are not satisfied with the bullet style, then what we can do? So again we are here, we will select it and then we will go to format, and from here we have bullets and numbering, and from here we can change the bullet style. Right now the style is this one, so we can go for this one also and then click on OK. Now you can see we have changed the bullet style. How to create numbered list? These 2 points were based on bulleted list. Now if we want to create numbered list, so what we should do? So for numbered list we will select the bulleted list. We will create the list as bulleted first, then we can change it to numbered list. Again the same method, click on format, then bullets and numbering, and from here instead of going for bullets we will go to numbering type, and from here we can select the type of numbering we want, the type of numbered list. Suppose I want to go for this one, then I will click on OK. So we have changed the bulleted list to numbered list. Next is 3.4, creating and using tables in presentation. If we want to insert table in a presentation, we can also do this. So first topic is how to create or add table in presentation. We will see this. If you want to insert table in a presentation, first of all let us insert one slide. Okay, now we are going to insert table in the presentation. So for inserting table, the menu will be insert menu, and from here we will select table. Click on table. It will ask us how many number of columns you want and how many number of rows you want. Suppose I want to create a table having 6 columns and 3 rows. So 6 columns and 3 rows, and then we will click on OK. So we have created a table with 6 columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns and 3 rows. 6 columns and 3 rows. So this way we can create or add a table in a presentation. Now if you want to change the look of the table, how to change the look of the table? So for changing the look we have table design section in properties window. So this is the properties window, and in this window when we insert a table we have one option, table design. This is the option table design. Using this option we can change the design of the table, look of the table using table design. So whatever type of table we are comfortable with, we can select from here. Okay, now note is given here, in Impress we can insert maximum 75 row and 75 column. We cannot insert table having more than 75 column or more than 75 rows. The limit is 75. Okay, Now we are going to discuss some components of the table design section. We can see this is the table design section. This one is the table design section, and when I will click here it will just vanish, and then I can have this. This is the table design section of the properties window. So what are the parts of this table design section? So this one we have seen to change the layout or clearing of the table. We have some more options here: header row, total row, banded row, first column, last column, and banded column. So one by one we are going to study these things. First one is header row. When this is clicked, the very first row has a different background from the rest of the table. If we will select header row, then what will happen? The first row will have a different background color. So if you want to give heading in a table, then you can go for header row. So let us see this. You can see header row is selected. That is why the first row is having a different background color than the other rows. Suppose I don't want to select it. You can see now all the rows are having the same color. Now you can see all the rows are having the same color. So if you want to go for a different color for the first row, we will go for header row. This will change the color of the first row. Here you can put any heading if you want. Next one is total row. Total row is similar to header row, but in this case it is the last row that is set to be different. Means the last row will be having a different color. So instead of header row, we are going for total row. Okay, so here we can see that the last row is having a different color. Suppose you want to add some numbers and you want to write total. So it is very good to write total here. So we have the total, and like this we will write. Okay. So if you want to distinguish the last row from the other rows, we will go for total row. So it is useful feature for tables with numerical data. So if you want to put total at the bottom, you can go for total row. Now next is banded rows. It alternates the background from one row to the next. So one row will be having a different color, next row will be having a different color. So let us see this. So instead of these, I am going for banded rows. You can see first row is having different color, then second row is having different color, then again third row is having the same color. Third row is having the same color. You can see from here also. Header row we have selected, that's why it was the first one was having a different color. Now we have banded rows, so you can see the first one is having a different color, then third one, then fifth one, then seventh one. Second is having a different color. So it alternates the background from one row to the next. So first one will be having a different color, third one same color, then fifth one same color, and 2, 4, 6 will be having different colors. It makes it easier to read. Next thing is first column. So we have deselected banded rows. You can see all the rows are having the same color. Now we have first column. It makes the background darker on the first column. So first column, you can see the background of the first column has become dark. This is like header row. You can see this is like header row. So in first column, if you will select first column, the first column will have a different background color. It will be darker. Likewise, we have last column. It makes the background darker on the last column. So instead of first column, if I will go for last column, you can see the last column is having a different color and it is darker in comparison to other colors. Banded columns. Banded columns are same as banded rows. Here we were having banded rows, alternate colors for alternate rows. In this we will be having alternate colors for alternate columns. So like banded rows, it makes columns alternate the background. So instead of last column, if I will go for banded columns, so you can see the first column is having a different color, then third column is having the same color, then fifth column, then seventh, and then the ninth one. Likewise, we have second column, fourth column, sixth column, and eighth column. So alternate columns are having different colors. It makes it easier to read. Now next we are going to study is components of table toolbar. So if you insert a table, you will see one extra toolbar comes here. This is called table toolbar. This is table toolbar. So what are the components of this table toolbar? The first component is table. Okay, you have created one table. Now in this table also, if you want, in this slide also you want to insert one more table. So instead of going for insert and then table, you can select or insert table from here also. This is the table option. This lets us create table on the current slide by displaying dialog for choosing columns and rows. If you will click here directly, it will ask you how many number of columns do you want and how many number of rows do you want. Suppose I want to go for 6 columns and I want to go for 5 rows. Then I will click here OK, and then it will create one more table with the number of columns and with the number of rows we wanted. I will go for Ctrl plus Z, again Ctrl plus Z, again Ctrl plus Z. Okay. Now one more option is there. We can click the drop down menu to get a graphical chooser also to draw the rows and columns. So in this table toolbar, we can just click here drop down and we will get a graphical option for choosing the number of columns and number of rows. Suppose 4 into 3 means we want 4 column and 3 rows. So we will just click here. It will also insert a table. So we have inserted one more table using this table option. Next thing is line style. It controls the borders between cells. If you will click on a single cell, it will just control the border of the cells, and if you have selected the table, it will control the borders between cells, means these linings it will control, these lines it will control. Okay, for example, if you want to go for solid line, you can go for dotted, dash, and so on. Let us see this. Here suppose I want to go for a thick line, so I will just click here. It will give a thick line. You can see it got thick lines. Or this one you can see you will get, suppose I want this much thick line. Okay, here in this table also we will select the table and then we will click here and then we will select the lines. It will change the, you can see it got changed. So it controls the borders between the cells. The borders of the cells got changed. Next we have line color. If you want to change the color of the borders, then you can opt this line color. So this one was line style and this one is line color. So suppose I want to go for a different color. I want to go for orange. Okay, so now you can see the line colors got changed and now the color is orange. Borders. This lets us choose where we want borders to go on the cells. Okay, suppose this one is a cell, this one is my cell, and let us select one. Okay, so we have changed this. Now this lets us choose where we want borders to go on cells. So you can see we can go for border at the top, border at the bottom, border at the right, border at the left. So for cells we can do this. So you can see borders, just click here. No borders are there. You can go for left border or you can go for right border. You can go for border at both sides, left and right. This one for top, this one is for bottom. Suppose I want to go for bottom border. You can see we have one border at the bottom. So this option border lets us choose where we want borders to go on cells. Next is merge cells. If you want to merge two cells into one, you can go for merge cells. Suppose we have these two cells and I want to merge these two cells. So I will just select these two cells. Okay, and then we will get this option. You can see merge cells. Both the cells got merged and now instead of two cells we are having one single cell. Next is split cells. Split a cell into two or more cells. Using this option you can split a cell into two parts or more than two parts, vertically also, horizontally also. Now suppose I have this cell and I want to break this cell into two or more than two parts. So for that I will go to, you can see split cells. It will ask me, do you want to split the cell horizontally or vertically, and in how many parts. Suppose I want to split this cell into three parts horizontally. So you can see I have broken this cell into three parts and this one is horizontal. Now suppose I want to go for vertical. So I will just click here and then this option will come, split cells, and this one have vertical, and I want two parts of this cell. So here we have broken this cell into two parts. Next is alignment. Top alignment is available, center is available, and bottom is available. So only vertical alignments are available. Horizontal alignments are not available. Using table toolbar. So this align data vertically within the cell. Let us see this. So suppose this is my data and we have these three options of vertical alignment: top, center and bottom. So here it will not be, you will not be able to understand it. So first of all we will select the table and from here let us increase the space. Now you can see it is right now top aligned. Top aligned. Now I am aligning it to the center, and now I am aligning it to the bottom. Okay, you can see the text is now aligned to the bottom. So three vertical options are available: top, center and bottom. Next is insert row, insert column and delete row and delete column. You know very well, insert row will insert a single row, insert column will insert a single column, delete row will delete a row and delete column will delete a column. So Suppose I don't want this whole row. Right now this row is active, so we have this option. You can see here, insert row, insert column, delete row and delete column. So I don't want to use this row, so I will just come here and then I can delete this row. This row will get deleted. Likewise, if I have clicked here in this cell, this is the active column, so I can delete the column also. It is taking time. Okay, you can see this column we can delete. Just will click here and it will delete the selected column. This column got deleted. Okay, likewise we can insert rows also and insert columns also. So suppose I want to insert one more row, I will just click here, it will insert one more row. And if I want to insert one more column, I will click here, insert columns, and it will insert one more column. So this way we can insert column, delete column, insert row and insert column. Table properties. It lets us choose font, font effect, borders and backgrounds. So this one is table properties. Using it we can change the font style, typeface of the font, font size also, font effect also. You can change the font color from here also. Suppose I want to go for the color pink. I can make the text outline. I can make the text look as a shadow. I can give an overlining also over the text. I can make the text strike through also from between two strike through linings. I can give an underline also, double underline, and I can change the color of overline or underline also. When I will click on OK, it will change the format. So now we have changed of this one now. Yes, then OK. It is not working. Font color pink, then OK. I think there is some problem, otherwise it should work. We have changed the font color. This is the table we have selected now. Then we have table properties. Again it is taking automatic red. Just do this with any other table. Let us use this table. Table properties, and here change the color to red. It's also not taking. I think there's some problem with the settings, but this is the process. Now next thing is inserting images. Point 3.5, how can we insert images? So the first one is how to insert images or clip art in slide using placeholder. So let us have one new slide. Okay, and suppose I want to insert image, so I can go for a slide layout which is having the placeholder for image. So here we have placeholder for table also, placeholder for chart, placeholder for movie, placeholder for picture or image or clip art or graphics. So this way we will just select the placeholder, and from placeholder we will click on insert picture. It will ask me to select the picture. Suppose I have selected this picture, then I will click on open. The picture will get selected in that placeholder. So this way we can insert image or clip art using placeholder. Now if you don't want to go for placeholder, suppose I have used this placeholder and this one also, but still I want to insert one more image. So how to directly insert images or clip art in slide without using the placeholder option? Suppose we don't want to use the placeholder, but still we want to insert picture. So for inserting anything, you know very well, we go to insert, and from here we have the option picture, and from here we will click on from file. So it will take me here. Suppose I want to use this picture. I will just click here and then click on open. So we have not used the placeholder, but still we have inserted the picture directly without the use of the placeholder. Now how to insert images from clipboard? You know very well, clipboard is a temporary place where text or images or videos are saved if we cut it or copy it from somewhere. So if I want to copy or paste something, so when I will copy something, it will get placed in the clipboard. So I will just open my folders. Okay, and from here I will go to pictures, and I will just copy this picture or cut this picture from here. Right click copy or right click cut, or I can use the shortcut Ctrl plus X for cut and Ctrl plus C for copy. So now this photo has been saved temporarily in the clipboard. So I will just come here and I will just right click and then click on paste. So the photo will get pasted, or I can go for the shortcut Ctrl plus V. You can see this image got pasted. So if you want to insert image from clipboard in default form, means the save form in which it was available, then we will go for this option, copy and paste. Next is how to insert image in a different format. Suppose you got the image in JPG format, and if you want to insert the image in PNG format. So if this format is available, then Impress allows you to change the format of the image also. So instead of going for paste, we will go for paste special. So suppose I have taken this photo and I have copied this photo from here. Now instead of going to paste option, this one, edit and then paste, we will go for paste special. Okay, here it will give me the option from where I can select the type of image. For this image the option is not available, I have to directly select the image, but for other images these options come. Then I will click on, I will select the selection from here and then I will click on OK. So if you want to insert image in a different format, we will go for paste special instead of paste. Next thing is how to insert image from cloud. Cloud means internet. So if you want to insert image from cloud, means from internet, you will just open internet. Suppose we have opened. And we will take any image from the internet. Copy it and then we will paste it. Suppose I want to go for image zoom. Okay, so here we have zoom. We'll go to images and from here I will select any of the image. So this way we can copy and paste any image. So I have selected one image from here, suppose this one. Copy image. So this will copy the image and now I can paste the image, right click and then okay, Control plus V, the image got pasted. Okay, other things we will discuss in the next video class. Okay.